Political tension over secure communications reached new heights this week when top members of the Senate Armed Services Committee called for an investigation into the Pentagon's handling of classified information shared via Signal, a widely used encrypted messaging platform. This isn't just another routine inquiry, it's about the potential mishandling of sensitive military intel that could have far-reaching consequences. So, what exactly happened? Let's break it down. Senators Roger Wicker and Jack Reed, leading figures in the Senate's Armed Services Committee, are questioning the security practices behind the sharing of what seems like highly classified military details on Signal. The information allegedly involved sensitive discussions regarding military actions in Yemen. If this is true, it raises critical concerns about whether unclassified communication tools like Signal should be trusted with such high-stakes information. The controversy erupted after The Atlantic published full details of a chat that included information on a planned strike against the Houthis in Yemen. According to the leaked messages, military officials were discussing real-time operations, mentioning F-18 fighter jets, MQ-9 drones, and Tomahawk cruise missiles as part of the strike plan. Even more troubling? The target was reportedly killed when the building he was in collapsed, a detail that could compromise security if it fell into the wrong hands. Interestingly, White House officials, including Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, defended the leak, claiming that the information shared was not classified. They insist that the public release of these details doesn't pose a risk to national security. But not everyone's convinced. Republicans, even within the Pentagon, are voicing their concerns. Representative Nick LaLota, a Navy veteran, bluntly criticized the situation, calling it sloppy and pointing out that this kind of intel could have endangered troops if it ended up in the hands of adversaries like the Houthis, or worse, Russia and China. This is exactly why we can't afford to let sensitive information slip through the cracks, he remarked, drawing parallels with past security blunders like Hillary Clinton's email scandal and the recent controversy surrounding President Joe Biden's sensitive documents. The investigation now in motion will look into how this information was shared, who was responsible for the leak, and whether the correct protocols were followed. The Senate's letter to the Pentagon's Inspector General demands answers on whether any disciplinary actions will be taken and whether the Department of Defense's guidelines on using non-governmental communication apps are up to par. This drama highlights a critical issue: the tension between national security and the use of encrypted apps for communication. Signal is approved for secure use by government officials because of its encryption, but is it enough? Should the risks outweigh the convenience? This is where the debate gets tricky. What makes this situation even more complex is the timing. President Donald Trump had fired 17 inspectors general shortly after taking office, including the Defense Department's Inspector General. That's why the acting Inspector General, Stephen Stebbins, is under the microscope now. Senators are asking for an expedited investigation, and given the stakes, it could soon become a major topic of discussion in Washington. Some insiders argue that an independent investigation, free from political influence, could bring clarity to this sensitive situation. As former State Department Inspector General Diana Shaw puts it, these independent offices are invaluable when a situation becomes politically charged. Only time will tell how this saga unfolds, and whether the Pentagon will overhaul its security practices as a result. But what do you think? Should the Pentagon be more cautious when using communication apps for military discussions? Or is the security of apps like Signal enough to ensure that sensitive info stays safe? Let us know your thoughts.